The moment 1 plus 1 come together, it's a third thing. Now, that third thing does not decide. It's still you individually being your own authority. But what happens if somebody's really emotionally volatile and pushy, and the other person is, subjecting themselves to whatever you want in order to get that other person off your back? Then there's this immediacy of the other person being the authority to the person who's subjugated to the will of the other, let's say. So when things like that happen, deep breath, this too shall pass. And in separation, can you process what happened and then come back to the being when everything's much more calm, maybe peaceful or successful, and really lay down the ground rules for what you would prefer to be treated like in that particular partnership. So as an example, let's say you're in a partnership with someone who has a lot of definition and you have a lot of openness. They're emotional, you're not. And so what happens with that emotional being when they get scared or they feel threatened, they try to be larger than life and they dominate and they get pushy and they get threatening. When they're feeling threatened, they get threatening. And so they're a little bit of a bully, let's say. First lines may tend to be when they're scared, when they're fearful. So they get a little pushy. That's in, again, the not self-shadow state particularly. So in that moment, you felt so overwhelmed by their emotionality, by their anger, by their dysregulation and upset that you couldn't say anything to defend against their violent rage. Remember gate 34, line 1, potentially. But any 34 that their self-empowerment feels threatened may give you some pushback, relatively speaking. So you separate from that engagement. Maybe we can talk again when things are a little bit more settled. Take your time with this. Yeah, give yourself some space and grace. Okay? To the best of your ability, not laying blame on the other. Okay? It's not your fault either. It always takes two to tango. And usually it's just a mechanical function of either what's happening to them and you two together, or there might be transits at play.